Wow guys, it has been over a year since I posted my last video. I just lost interest in playing RuneScape in general, which of course means I lost interest in making videos, but I've seen a lot of comments recently asking for more, and I've sort of been in the mood for video editing, so here we are, back, and I'm going to try and release at least 2 more videos for this series. So let's jump right into it. We have an exciting level to start off with this episode, level 30 defense, which allows us to equip adamant armor. The best in slot leggings for this account are adamant legs, so this is a really nice level to have. Additionally, we got 37 combat level and 250 total level, so it's kind of just some nice milestones here and there. Right off the bat here, we're going to be doing some combat training. So I am going to be training strength from now on until level 40, and then I'll swap to attack till level 40, and then defense until level 40, and we will have completed the goal of having level 40 in all 3 of the melee combat skills. What I'm doing here is I'm actually using curse spells to lure the skeletons, because you need some kind of like ranged method of luring the skeletons, because you always want to be killing the round shield ones, because those are the ones that drop the bronze bars. Shortly after fighting the skeletons and sadly not getting any good loot, I went to the giant rats to restock on food. While I was there, I got 19 prayer, which allows us to use rapid restore. And this prayer is really not all that useful. It basically restores your lowered stats faster. So if you like drank a jug of wine or went to Dark Wizards and had them lower your stats, you could technically raise your stats up faster. But I've never really seen this prayer as one that's useful, so I don't really use it. In typical low attention span Ironman fashion, I decided to switch things up a bit. So I went to go collect some bronze bolts so I could start range training. And I actually found a really cool method for training range, well, at least collecting the materials for it. So basically, I would put on my armor, and I would use curse spells on the ghosts as I collected up the bronze bolts. So it was kind of a magic training method that was a really good way to use my curse spells. And I was also getting materials to train range. So this is probably going to be my best method for collecting bolts, because it really doesn't waste much time. And it's actually kind of exciting, because you're kind of training 2 things at once. And of course, I put on my favorite range training gear, and I went to the bandit camp to safe spot rats there, because it's just such a convenient location, food-wise and training-wise. And I even got level 11 range off this batch. I think I picked up over 200 bolts that trip, so it lasted me quite a while. And at 11 range, by the way, with accurate style, I was hitting 3s, so that really speeds up range training when you can hit big numbers like that. Well, that's a big number to me, at least, on a free-to-play Ironman, because using a crossbow with bronze bolts, you're not really going to hit that high, so 3 is substantial to me, at least. After I got bored of range training, the next thing on the agenda was magic training. And I tried out a new method of this, where I'd basically go to the Dark Warriors Fortress and collect runes and splash curse spells on the warriors there at the same time. So basically, I'd be collecting runes and also casting curse spells. So it's like double whammy magic training, because I'm collecting extra combat spells as I'm using my cursed ones that I'm collecting on the spot. So really nifty strategy. I actually managed to get level 25 magic while I was there, and that is a very significant level, because now I can use teleport to Varrock, which means if I get PK'd, well, I can hopefully not get PK'd, because I could just run to level 20 Wilderness or below and just teleport out and immediately be safe. And that's an extremely helpful thing to have on this account, because my defense stats really aren't that great, so something's got to be able to save me in those dire situations. I jumped back into range training now after collecting over 300 bolts, so I was planning on doing this for a very long time. I even got to level 15 range, which is a good start. It's honestly higher than I thought I'd get early on this account. But range training is proving to be very fun, because you can safe spot everything, and there's no risk of getting damaged by monsters. So basically, if I can get my range level up really high, I can get to the point where I can safe spot these high level monsters and just take loot without having to bring supplies, which is a very big deal. Since food is so scarce on this account, anything you can do to save food is very helpful. Alright guys, this is where the wilderness content gets exciting. So as you can see, there's a guy with a skull over there coming from the bandit camp shop, and I didn't notice him until it was too late. He basically opened the door at that point, so I was running for my life. I didn't put on my armor because I was panicking. I was just trying to eat as much rat meat as I could, but I ended up dying. So that's the very first death on this account, and it came swiftly. At this point, I just wanted to run back to the wilderness as fast as I could to see if I could get some of my stuff back, because I figured the PKer wouldn't take all of it. The really sad part is that he killed me at level 21 wilderness, so I couldn't have teleported out. Like, I was literally a few steps away from being able to teleport out, but nah, that's just how it happens, I guess. Now, thankfully, he didn't take all the items. He actually left me with the crossbow, the axe, and tinderbox, so I suppose they're not really worth enough for him to bother grabbing. And because of that, I can kind of avoid going to some annoying places to get more gear. Really, the biggest loss for me was the mithril sword, because that actually took a long time to get, or a lot of effort to get at least. And so my goal right now was to try and get the mithril sword back, because obviously that's the biggest loss, and I can't really train melee efficiently without it. I went for 2 kills on the moss giants using the crossbow, but wow, the crossbow is just so slow, it's not worth using. And I didn't even get any good loot from either of the kills anyway, so after that I quickly got impatient and I just wanted to get all my gear back. So I started traveling around. First thing I got was the iron kite shield and scimitar, and then I tried to go for the steel plate legs after that, because they are pretty nice, and they're honestly the best legs I can get until like adamant legs. And my goal was to stock up gear and food and then go to the lava maze to try and get those items again, because those are such high risk that if I'm going to die somewhere while getting stuff, it's going to be in the lava maze. So I might as well do that early on, right after a death, so if I die again, I don't really lose that much stuff. As I was stocking up food, I got level 30 cooking. Only 5 more levels to go until I can start making pizzas, which are going to be way better food and will probably help me save myself from PKers. A lot better than that rat meat did, because, man, 3 healing per bite compared to 7 is crazy. And plus, they're just so much more densely packed with healing power compared to the rat meat. One thing I grabbed in this trip to the lava maze that I didn't grab last time was the iron full helm. And it has the same stats as the Ultimate Ironman helmet, but obviously since I lost it, I needed a replacement. The spawn's actually at the King Scorpion location in the lava maze. When I got to the end of the lava maze, I noticed I had the opposite problem of last time. This time, the earth staff was missing, and the steel plate body was actually there, so I went over and I grabbed the steel plate body, and I also grabbed the gold necklace for swag, of course. It doesn't actually really offer any bonuses, but I guess you could technically sell it for money if you're desperate, so... And it sells for a couple hundred at the bandit camp shop. I'll take this time to talk about dying on this account and why I actually like it. So the reasoning behind why I enjoy dying on this account is because it makes you play differently. In normal RuneScape, you're trying to like get all these really expensive items and all these things that help you train faster. But on this account, if you die, you lose all your valuable items, basically, because the PK is going to take them. But what I do keep is my experience. So it's a very experience-oriented playstyle, where I have to try and use everything I get to get experience. And I have to use it before I die with the items. So I really enjoy that aspect of balancing getting items and using those items to get XP. I ended up hopping worlds quite a few times to try and get the earth staff, but it was always taken. So I grabbed a few extra steel plate bodies because I figured I could sell them in the bandage store for some extra cash once I need to start buying pizza bases. And as I was hopping, I encountered some person in full rune, and I noped out of there as fast as possible. I was like, nope, I'm not going to fight someone with rune because they would destroy me. I did find the earth staff after a bunch of world hopping, but man, it was a pain to find it this time. I wasn't expecting it to be in such high demand, because it's not like it has like a high shop or AUK value. I mean, I guess bots pick them up. I don't really know. After I left the lava maze, I went straight to the bandit camp store and sold those steel plate bodies for money. And then I decided it was time to grind out 35 cooking. You know, after dying that one time, I realized that the food I have is just not good enough to survive PKers. So it was really time to just sit down and grind out 35 cooking so I can make those pizzas and be able to train more efficiently and boost my survivability. Be prepared for quite a level up montage here, because it's going to be non-stop leveling till pretty much the end of the episode. My power leveling strategy for cooking was to get a bunch of logs from just north of the Dark Wizards and bring them up to the rats, and I'd basically kill a bunch of rats, 31 cooking by the way, And after I killed like an inventory full of rats, I would cook all of them using one log, and then I just repeat the process over and over until I've used like 4 or 5 logs, and I have to go restock logs back down south. I started killing the rats with ranged because I wanted to train my range up, and rats are just so low defense that even with my poor equipment, I can actually deal a lot of damage to them. So I wanted to train to 25 range, and right here I get 20, so only 5 levels to go. After that, I'll probably switch to melee training. This is a fun level up right here, 32 cooking. So I could technically enter the Chef's Guild right now, but unless I allow an exception to my rules, I don't think I'll ever be going there. I was really hoping for a mystery box and random event here, but sadly that didn't happen. If you don't know already, the mystery box can give you a mithril scimitar, which is the best in-slot weapon I can possibly get without smithing. So that would have been nice timing for it too, because I didn't really have a good weapon right now. I was genuinely surprised by how quickly the range training went by. Hopefully now that I had 25 range, I could use that to kill some higher level monsters and not have it take forever. But now it was time to go back to melee training because I was just about out of bolts, and it was a pain to like recycle them back into my quiver every single time I killed a monster. Additionally, doing melee training allowed me to equip all my armor, which gave me a few inventory spots, which of course made cooking training faster since I could cook more meat per log. And 22 prayer. Quite a nice level because rapid heal is actually a useful prayer unlike rapid restore. Here's another exciting level up, 34 cooking. So we are now only 1 level away from completing one of my first goals I set on this account. Also, another exciting level up, I got 35 strength. So only 5 levels, so we have our goal of 40 strength on that too. Alright guys, it's that time of the video again. This time I'm going to be talking about demons and what they drop. So let me go over the key at the bottom first for this picture. So useful items are kind of just random items that you can get. Any number of them helps. They're not that significant. Very useful items are immediate upgrades for me right now. And then best in slot drops are best in slot items I can get from monster drops. So there may be better items I can get for those slots eventually. But monster drop wise, these are the best of the best. Now, let's start out with lesser demons. First, they drop a steel axe, which is an upgrade and the best mob drop upgrade we can get for woodcutting. It's a nice little treat. It's not that big of a deal compared to like the iron axe, but any upgrade is an upgrade. They also drop mithril chain bodies, which is kind of the best body armor slot. It does, it's inferior in like 2 regards. I think it has less range defense and less stab compared to the steel plate body, but the crush is like double the rating of the steel plate body. So I think for that reason alone, it is the best in slot because most monsters use crush attacks, so we'll be very defended when we're using melee. It also drops a black kite shield and a rude med helm. Those are upgrades, you know, compared to what I have right now, but they're not best in slot. Now, greater demons, they drop even better stuff. The rune full helm is best in slot for free-to-play in general, and it's the best in slot helmet that I can get on this account. The problem with greater demons is that they are in a really tricky spot to fight because there's a lot of PKers at the demonic ruins, so it's a bit riskier to go for them. Adamant plate legs are also a really nice drop compared to steel plate legs, at least, because holy cow, the defense bonus difference between those two is pretty substantial. Myth Kite Shield is also the best in slot shield I can get. And they also drop a steel axe like the lesser demons. I think it's a little more common, but hey, I mean, having another monster that drops it is somewhat nice, I think. Demons are pretty hard to kill at my level, especially greater demons because of the location. But I wanted to make you guys aware of the kind of things that they can give to my account. And now, after the long grind, 35 cooking at last. First major goal completed on this account. So I guess the goal that's going to replace it now is 45 cooking, so I can make meat pizzas. But it's definitely less of a priority goal than 35 cooking was. I forgot to mention that I lost another item on that death, and that item was, of course, the wizard hat. And I'll really take any magic bonus where I can get it, so I just went for a quick trip to Dark Wizards to see if I could get another one, and I got it surprisingly quickly. I also managed to stumble across another random event, which I hope was a mystery box, but he just gave me a lousy kebab. It's so frustrating. I want one of those mystery boxes, but we'll see if I ever get good loot out of one of them. Alright guys, well that's pretty much going to wrap up the episode for today. So I hope you enjoyed watching despite having to wait over a year for this episode. I guess I could talk a little bit about why I stopped making these episodes. Really, I just didn't have motivation to play. Some of the updates frustrated me that they did on skilling and bossing content on my main. So after I lost interest in that, I lost interest in this account. But I really think I might pump out a few more episodes for this account and play a few more hours and just see how fun it is. So I'm not making any guarantees on how many more episodes I'm going to make of this. I'm just warning you, so don't get your hopes up too much. But I'm just going to do it until it's not fun anymore. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.